I have a nephew coming up, and well, I don't agree with what my wife is saying. So, logically, I side with my family, and man, I did not think this would be such a big deal. My name's Mr. Reddito, and I have a wild story for you guys today. In fact, I have 4 stories. But our highlighted story of the day is coming at you first. And I hope everyone's having an amazing day. Let's get right into it. Backstory. My wife and I have 2 kids, 9 female and 4 male. My wife got pregnant very easily. Our first kid was even an oopsie-daisy baby. She had relatively easy pregnancies comparatively, and extremely easy labor comparatively, no major complications or anything like that. On the other hand, my brother and his wife have been trying for years and had to endure medical surgeries for my sister-in-law and to utilize IVF in order to finally get pregnant after spending who knows how much money. So, when they finally got pregnant, they made it a much bigger deal than I would say is typical, even for a first baby for a couple. For example, their baby shower, instead of being sort of typical with close friends and family at like someone's house or something, opening gifts and such, was at this very expensive venue with extravagant catering, and it was formal attire. They did not even open presents. My wife was involved in the planning for this, and it was during this that she started to get kind of annoyed with my sister-in-law. She would plan certain events and fun, typically baby games, and it would get shot down. By who else? My sister-in-law. She would basically replace it with her own idea. So, that whole event left a bit of a sour taste for this whole pregnancy ever since. Otherwise, everyone in our family has been so supportive and excited. The baby is due at the end of this month. So, last night my wife received a Facebook message thread, including my parents and other family, from my sister-in-law that literally said, "In order for any of us to see the baby, either in the hospital or after he's born, or later back at home, we would need to bring our vaccination records to show that we're up to date on certain vaccinations and have gotten our seasonal flu shot." Well, my wife lost her cool. She started saying how completely insane my sister-in-law and brother are being, and basically is over the pregnancy and doesn't care to meet our nephew. While I said that I agree they are being a bit on the extreme side, I can sort of understand how they're likely extra precautious because of everything they've been through to even get pregnant. And in all reality, this is probably their one and only chance. They can't afford to go through IVF again, and my sister-in-law is too old. It would be high risk. My entire family, including the kids, are all up to date on our shots, so it's not like it would be hard to comply. We would just need to get our records. I also said I can understand in this day and age with the anti-vax community, you never know who has what. So, I can see being careful around strangers, but they should trust family members that we would not put our own family, especially the baby, in harm's way. But overall, I sort of understand why they're being careful, and it's no big deal. Well, she took this as me siding with them over her, so she's been angry with me ever since. Am I the a-hole? Edit/update number 1. While my wife did not explicitly say it, just knowing her well enough, I think the reason she's upset isn't because they're asking for vaccination paperwork in general, but asking us and my parents, and we're pretty close. We all live within 30 minutes away and see them frequently, and at every holiday. They watch our kids, we watch their dog, etc. There's always been full trust between us, and I think she feels insulted like we're not being trusted. I don't know if that changes anything. For those of you that said you also asked for shot records, did that apply to everyone, including close family? Edit number 2/update 2. Holy cow, this blew up since I checked. First of all, Thanks so much for the comments, opinions, and advice. To address some common questions, number 1. No, sister-in-law has no good reason to think we would lie about being vaccinated, or anything else for that matter. Once again, we're all really close. If anyone in the family was an anti-vaxxer, we would know. And there's no previous issues with trust that has ever existed. Number 2. No, we did not ensure family was up to date on shots when our kids were born. I feel like the whole anti-vax thing wasn't as prevalent at the time, maybe. It was a while ago, don't exactly recall. Number 3. It's highly unlikely my wife is jealous of the baby shower or attention of the pregnancy. She's a total introvert and would rather die than have this type of baby shower my sister-in-law had. It was more the fact that my sister-in-law rejected all her ideas and basically planned it herself. Number 4. I probably shot myself in the foot on this one with the title, but I did not really take a side, at least I would not consider it that. It's not like I said, well, hun, that they are right and you're wrong. It was more the fact that I wasn't as outraged as my wife about the whole thing, and it made her think I was taking their side. And number 5, I appreciate the folks that could see both sides of the coin. I feel like that's what I tried to do here. Maybe I did not handle it to perfection, and I do agree, yes, it will probably blow over. Maybe I'll send an update if anyone's interested. Honestly, guys, I understand why the sister-in-law doesn't want to endanger her child. I don't think it's an unreasonable request, and I do agree with OP, and I say not the a-hole. I can understand how this could go both ways, though, so let me know exactly what your opinion is in the comment section down below. That's always the best way to engage with me about these stories. Just drop your opinion down there and let's talk about it. I see every single comment. Okay, guys, we have story 2 coming up now, and I cannot wait to jump into this one. The title is, Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay the babysitter for new glasses after my daughter broke her old ones? If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button. Here comes story number 2. I'll preface this by saying I'm a 35-year-old male and I'm a widower with 2 kids, 9 and 11. I recently got back to work, and since I work night shifts, I had to get the kids a babysitter. They're at school during the day and my sister stays with them. I was able to find a babysitter with the help of a coworker. Actually, they're related, and things been going pretty well, except for a few days ago. The babysitter calls me at work and tells me that my 9-year-old daughter just broke her glasses. I got home and heard both sides of the story and came to a conclusion that it was in fact an accident. But the babysitter said my daughter broke them intentionally after she refused to let her stay outside late in the evening. I asked my 11-year-old daughter, and she said the babysitter's story is accurate. But since she and her sister have a beef then, I figure she lied and set her sister up. My 9-year-old daughter cried and said she did not mean it. It was an accident. I apologized to the babysitter for the misunderstanding, but she insisted there was no misunderstanding. And then she insisted I will pay for a new pair of glasses. I was taken aback by her request, and I told her I thought we talked this out and rolled it out as an accident. But she insisted it was no accident. I apologized but refused and said it was simply unfair to expect me to pay, especially since she did not pay attention to keep her glasses safe, regardless of whether it's an accident or not. The babysitter argued with me, then started crying. She was also swearing that my daughter broke them to get back at her. My 11-year-old daughter sided with her, but my 9-year-old said she is only siding with the babysitter for her own benefits. The girls started fighting, and I ended up telling the babysitter to leave. She got my coworker involved, and she said I should take responsibility and pay for the babysitter for her new glasses, since she cannot afford them being a broke college student, and she's in need of the glasses. I apologized but refused to pay. My coworker got upset and shamed me for condoning my younger daughter's actions and treating the babysitter poorly when she's the victim in this situation. It's been days and the babysitter's still wanting me to pay, but I feel like she's trying to use the fact that I'm in dire need of help and is hoping to get extra money out of my pocket. So this story really got to me. I know it was a short one, but I just could not believe the audacity of OP. Maybe I'm the only one that feels like that, but I don't think it matters the intention if it was an accident or on purpose. It doesn't matter. OP's child is the one that broke the glasses, so why shouldn't OP replace them? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, so I have to say, OP, you are the a-hole. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. There's another Am I the A-hole story coming up next, and it's about an inheritance drama when somebody says, hey, I'm going to have your money for my husband's surgery. Guys, this one is insane. Let's get right to it. My sister, who's 27, and I, 18, lost our dad a year ago. He was my only parent. Mom was never in mine or my sister's life. Dad left money, aka inheritance, for me and my sister, and she used her inheritance to get a new car and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brothers-in-laws did not let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for college. I've always wanted to be a doctor, but haven't decided which branch. My sister and I haven't been very close. It started after she got married to her chronically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about Dad and mock his illness and make a scene at the funeral, only because he's ill and should not be held accountable for his behavior. Well, I've distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother's-in-law's condition. He's been in and out of the hospital for heart problems and is now in need of a surgery. She brought up my inheritance money several times, but I cut that conversation short. She then straight up asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery, and she would pay back in less than a year. I felt uneasy because, well, if I gave her money from my inheritance, which is a large amount, there's no guarantee she'll pay me back before it's time for college. I'm taking a year gap, but I know my sister and she cannot pay that much back, and I felt it was risking my future. I refused to help, and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless, cruel, with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be priority, and I needed to help because education is nothing compared to someone's health, and asked if I'd be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I argued that her husband's poor health is not my fault after she kept blaming and guilt-tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for the permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help. She's been sending texts and pictures of her family, telling me this is what I was saying no to. A happy, healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried and felt like I was being selfish not to be a good aunt and sister. I asked my friend, and he said let them sell their car and their luxurious stuff they bought, and then they can afford the surgery, and warned me, if I give them money, I'll never get it back, and maybe never able to go to medical school. So, the majority of people on this thread voted not the a-hole, and I, of course, have to agree with them because I strongly believe not the a-hole. Actually, I was reading the comments on the original thread, and this one very specific comment, it brought to my attention because I felt the exact same way. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with this comment or not. It says, "Your friend is correct. You'll never get the money back because sis is not willing to give up her luxurious lifestyle, aka the car and stuff she bought with her inheritance, She chose how to spend her own inheritance, did not save for a rainy day, and is entitled to yours because of her poor financial planning. Not the a-hole. So guys, let me know what you think of that one, and our final story is coming up next. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and also check out my Instagram in the description below. Here comes today's final story. I'm a 45-year-old single father of 3. Their mom died 10 years ago. I have 3 sons. 17-year-old Andrew, 15-year-old Connor, and 14-year-old Max. Connor was born female. He's trans. He came out as trans 5 years ago and has now socially transitioned. Not yet physically. My sister, 38, just got married. Me and my sons were all invited. My family has known that Connor is trans for 2 years now. Some have adjusted well, some not so much. My sister is pretty indifferent about it. Her wedding was really super well organized to the last detail. She wanted all the men to wear a shirt and a tie, and the women sundresses. I texted her a picture of our outfits the day before the wedding, and she said, where's Naya's dress? I was a bit surprised and told her not to dead name my son, and he'll be wearing a shirt and tie like the rest of the men there, or we're not coming. She said fine, and that was it. At the reception, my sister got mad that Connor was wearing a tie, but did not say much after that. When we sat down at our table, the card said Naya. I went to my sister and she said she used their real name. I told her me and my boys are leaving, and she told me, quote, "Don't you dare cause a scene at my wedding. Naya can be a guy another day." I called her a bigot and we left. My family says I ruined the wedding. Guys, I have to say not the a-hole on this one, and I'm so proud of OP for standing up for his child. There was actually a similar situation I came across in the comments, so I'll read his story now. It says, "My mom tried to force me to wear a dress to my grandma's funeral. I'm a trans guy, because she said it was, quote, appropriate. So I sent her a photo of me in a dress, I'm a very hairy guy, with the caption, 'Nothing says appropriate like a man in a dress.' She soon backed off. But then I'm a fully grown adult capable of defending myself. Thanks so much for looking out for your son. You are a fantastic dad." I agree with that comment, and man, it was wholesome. Okay, let me know your thoughts on this one down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, smash that subscribe button, as it's the best way to support me. I hope everyone has an amazing day. Try something new today. You can accomplish everything. Catch you in the next one, guys.